Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2018 State of the City Address, produced by your five-star grader, Irving Las Colinas Chamber of Commerce. Since October, I've had the pleasure of serving as chairwoman of the Irving Las Colinas Chamber of Commerce and representing Holt Cat's commitment to workforce development and growth in the Irving Las Colinas community. Shout out to Table 33, my Holt Cat colleagues. And really to everyone today for being so brave and coming out against Snowmageddon 2018. You guys are courageous and inspiring. So today's program will be an opportunity to learn more about how Irving is doing economically, the great developments underway, and opportunities that lie ahead. Irving Las Colinas continues to be a highly coveted international business address with world-class amenities and a diverse population of both workers and residents. The accolades continue to pile up, and it's all in part due to the hard work of the Chamber of Commerce and the Irving Economic Development Partnership. Mayor Rick Stopfer, Irving City Council members, City Manager Chris Hillman, the Las Colinas Chamber, Hammond Perot and his team at the Las Colinas Association, Mara Gast and her team at the Irving Convention Center, great setup by the way, and the Visitors Bureau, as well as the instrumental commitment by the private business industry to growing a better economy. Thank you for your leadership. We look forward to hearing more about these accomplishments a little later in the program. Now, let's all rise as the Irving Police Honor Guard and Irving Fire Department's Pipes and Drums team present the Callers, and Hunter Beecham and Jennifer Takala with Christ Church performing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free
Thank you, Hunter and Jennifer. That was beautiful. Thank you. And the Irving Police Honor Guard and the Fire Department's pipes and drums for sharing their talent with us this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, providing the invocation this morning will be Pastor J. Don George. Pastor George is the founding pastor of Calvary Church and accepted the pastorate in 1972. Please join me in welcoming Pastor J. Don George to the podium.
Let us pray. Almighty God, we come to your throne of grace today with humble hearts and with a deep sense of gratitude. And we thank you because your word declares that every good and perfect gift comes from you. So we readily acknowledge that you are the giver of all good things. And because of your goodness, you have overshadowed us with kindness and love and grace and mercy and truth. We acknowledge, O God, that apart from you, there is nothing of value or of eternal consequence that can be accomplished. So today we ask you to give us divine enablement. O God, as we review the incredible year of 2017, and as we pause for a few moments today to rejoice in the economic developments and advantages of this wonderful city, we will not forget that you have made it all possible by imparting wisdom and understanding to people in leadership. We thank you for the fearless and courageous leaders of this city, people who have an understanding of truth and of the lasting endowment of your love. And I ask you today to cause the year that is before us, 2018, to be the greatest year of all in every dimension. Oh God, let us be great as we consider the needs of the poor and the disenfranchised and those who have been disadvantaged by the circumstances of life, and cause us to prosper as a city with love and with grace and with economic development and with every great benefit that you would have us to receive. For the food we eat today and for those from whom we will hear today, we thank you and we express our gratitude in the holy name of your only begotten Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Please welcome Beth Bowman, President and CEO of the Greater Irving Las Colinas Chamber of Commerce and Irving Economic Development Partnership.
Ladies and gentlemen, please have a seat. At this time, the servers will be bringing around your first course. Please begin to enjoy it while I recognize some instrumental people and organizations in Irving. I appreciate each of you joining us today to celebrate the highlights and award-winning accomplishments our city achieved in 2017 and to look forward to future successes in 2018. For those of you out there on your smartphones, join us in the conversation with us on Facebook and Twitter. Tell us about your experience, what you love about Irving, and tag the City of Irving and the Irving Chamber using hashtag SOTC18. And we hope you had some time to try out the digital graffiti wall presented by City. It's a high-tech digital wall that is built to look and feel like real street art without the mess. If you didn't get a chance to interact with the wall prior to the program, feel free to grab a can. and create your own piece of art after we conclude this afternoon. Maybe you can draw inspiration from the skilled artists that will be working throughout the program. Before we go any further, we have elected and appointed officials here that I'd like to acknowledge and thank for their partnership with the City of Irving and the Irving Las Colinas Chamber of Commerce, but most importantly, thank them for everything they do for our award-winning city. As I call each name, please stand to be recognized. And ladies and gentlemen, please hold your 5-star applause until the end. We are joined today by Texas State Senator Don Huffines, Irving State Representative Matt Rinaldi, Irving State Representative Rodney Anderson. Joining us from Dallas County, our Commissioner Dr. Elba Garcia, Justice of the Peace Katie Hubner. From the Irving City Council, our very own Honorable Mayor Rick Stopfer, Mayor Pro Tem Alan Meager and his guest Heather, Councilman Dennis Webb, his wife Lydia, Councilman Kyle Taylor, Councilman David Palmer and his wife Allison, Councilman Oscar Ward and his wife Kay, Councilman Phil Riddle and his wife Pat, Deputy Mayor Pro Tem John Danish and his wife celebrating a birthday, Miss Deborah. From the City of Irving, our City Manager Chris Hillman, our Deputy City Manager Michael Morrison, our Assistant City Manager Ramira Lopez, Deputy City Attorney Janet Spagnardi, our City Secretary Shanae Jennings, Chief of Police Chief Jeff Spivey, Chief of the Fire Department Chief Victor Conley. From the Irving Convention and Visitors Bureau, our Chairwoman Clem Lear and Executive Director Mara Gast. Joining us from Irving Independent School District, Superintendent Dr. Jose Parra. Joining us from the Board of Trustees, Secretary Randy Necessary, Trustee Nell N. Hunt, Trustee A.D. Jenkins, Trustee Dinesh Mali. From the Irving Arts Center, Executive Director Todd Hawkins and Chairwoman Judy Pearson. From the Las Colinas Association, President Heman Perot and Chairman General Al Zaponta. From our partners at the U.S. Chamber, John Gonzalez. From the Carrollton Farmers Branch ISD, Superintendent Dr. Bobby Burns. From the Board of Trustees from Carrollton Farmers Branch, joining us, President John Matthews, Vice President Nancy Klein, Assistant Secretary Randy Schachman, Richard Fleming, Trustee Tara Harbachek, Trustee Candace Valensla. Joining us from the DART Board of Directors, President Gary Thomas, and joining us from the Capel City, the Honorable Mayor Karen Hunt, and our Chairwoman of the Chamber, Chairwoman Lori Bunger. Please join me in applauding these leaders. And James Childress, joining us as Assistant City Manager to the City of Irving. I believe 1 week on the job. Let's give him a warm welcome to Irving. We also want to thank our sponsors. Our presenting sponsor, TXU Energy. Brad Watson, thank you for you and your team. Our platinum sponsors, Ace Cash Express, City, Dr. Pepper Snapple Group, Irving Convention and Visitors Bureau, the Kroger Company, our gold sponsors, Avial, a Boeing company, Atmos Energy, FlowServe, KDC, our silver sponsors, Baylor Scott & White Medical Center, Irving, Cottonwood Financial, Freeze & Nichols Incorporated, Mercury One, Michael's Stores, Payway, Pioneer Natural Resources, Robert L. Martinez at Law. Our media sponsor today is the Dallas Business Journal And thank you to our parking sponsor, Rick's Independent Car Care Service. When you are shopping, we encourage you to shop these businesses and organizations. They are supporting the local community, and without their generosity, this signature program would not be possible. Next, I'd like to recognize Chef Edward Alvarez for the delicious, exquisitely designed meal we're enjoying this afternoon. Please join me in a round of applause for the chef. Author Sonia Johnson said, "We must remember that one determined person can make a significant difference, and that a small group of determined people can change the course of history." That particularly describes the leadership that I want to acknowledge here today. The 56 members of the Greater Irving Las Colinas Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. If you currently are serving on the board and attending this afternoon, please stand so we can recognize you for your leadership. I want to thank the award-winning City of Irving staff for their hard work and tireless commitment to improve our city and the true five-star attention they provide to our business community and our residents day in and day out. Also, a special thank you to Board Vice Chairwoman Roxanne Cleary, who leads the Chamber's Signature Programs Committee. Many of these committee members are volunteering here this afternoon. I'd also like to recognize the working team for the 2018 Signature Program, the State of the City, that's been putting together this program for the last 6 months. Thank you to City Secretary Shanae Jennings and her team, Susan Rose at the City of Irving and her corporate communications team for their hard work and partnership on this program. Without them, today would not be possible. Thank you. And last but certainly not least, our five-star signature programs team at the Chamber, under the leadership of Erica Mulder, has been working around the clock, not only producing this program, but also had the pleasure of monitoring the weather to deliver today's program. Today, we officially kick off one of the Chamber's most popular signature programs, the 8th Annual Best in Irving Awards nominations. This is your opportunity to choose the best of the best, those Irving businesses who have demonstrated excellence over the past year. The online voting opens this afternoon and remains open until March 2nd. You can find the online link to the ballot on the card at your place setting. Today's program is about celebrating our great community. I'm excited to share with you an upcoming opportunity to showcase one of Irving's 2 master plan communities, Las Colinas, this coming March. The Irving Economic Development Partnership, together with our friends at the Las Colinas Association, have joined with our media partner here today, the Dallas Business Journal, for their Corridors of Opportunity series. The March 1st event will be held at the Toyota Music Factory, and I know the team at the Toyota Music Factory is also here with us today. The program will include a panel of top executives, our CEOs from Payway, Verizon, and our real estate executives discussing the latest developments. Details are on the screen behind me. I hope you'll make plans to join us as we highlight Las Colinas, a master-planned masterpiece. Now, please enjoy the rest of your meal and purposeful connectivity with your colleagues, neighbors, and friends. We'll return shortly to continue this afternoon's signature program featuring the Honorable Mayor, Rick Stopfer.
Brad oversees the company's community relations efforts and is involved with developing communication strategies. Vistra Energy relocated its corporate headquarters to the TXU Energy Sierra facility in Irving, Las Colinas, along with 400 employees this summer. Welcome home. We are thrilled to have them home and appreciate their continued commitment to our community as corporate stewards. Ladies and gentlemen, Brad Watson.
Well, thank you very much for the kind introduction, Lori, and good afternoon, everybody. It's nice to see everybody here. Last night about 10 o'clock, where I used to stand in my previous life out on a viaduct somewhere in the ice, I was wondering if the forecast isn't right and there's ice in Irving, I might be standing up here in front of about 700 empty chairs. I'm glad you all could make it today. I knew the mayor would make it since he's from the Dakotas and John McKay grew up in Nebraska and I'm from Iowa. We get driving around in snow and ice. Wasn't too sure how many other folks would make it, so I'm glad we all dodged a bullet on that. Well, TXU Energy is excited to be the presenting sponsor of the State of the City today. With all of our companies now in Irving, we're looking forward to building on our robust relationship with the Greater Irving Las Colinas Chamber of Commerce in the years ahead. So I'd like to tell you about our businesses. Everyone knows about TXU Energy. That's our presenting sponsor today. But there are a couple of others equally important and just as dedicated to Irving. Vistra Energy is our parent company that owns TXU Energy, and it also owns Luminant. Of course, TXU Energy, the largest retail electricity provider in Texas, and Luminant is the largest power generator in Texas. We have a fleet of nuclear, natural gas, and coal plants, and believe me, right now they're all blowing and going with it cold. Vistra Energy, therefore, is the largest electric power generator and retail electric provider in Texas, with approximately 15,000 megawatts of generation capacity and 1.7 million residential and business customers in Texas. So how do we do that? Well, TXU Energy offers a variety of innovative products and solutions, allowing both residential and business customers to choose options to best meet their needs, which would include our great customer service, competitive service plans, energy efficiency options, renewable energy, and also other related services. At Luminant generates and sells electricity and related products from our diverse fleet of generation. That would include 2,300 megawatts of nuclear power. That's from our Comanche Peak Nuclear Power Plant in Glen Rose, southwest of Fort Worth. 5,000 megawatts of coal, 7,500 fueled by natural gas. We purchase a lot of the wind generated in Texas, and as I speak, we are building the largest solar generation facility in Texas at 180 megawatts. It's in Upton County, south of Odessa, and it's due to come online later this year. But the big headline for us today is that Irving is now our corporate home. Vistra Energy in 2017, we'll take the applause, it's okay. Vistra Energy in 2017 consolidated its central office with subsidiaries TXU Energy and Luminant in a move to Irving. The move brings 400 more jobs to the city for a total of 1,400 for the company and a boost, of course, to the local economy. Vistra Energy and Luminant moved downtown operations to join TXU Energy in Irving without any taxpayer-funded economic incentives. Of course, TXU Energy has called Irving home for a decade, serving as an active and philanthropic member in the community, and the move, of course, is going to help strengthen those ties, and it already has. Irving nonprofits have partnered with TXU Energy Aid that helps customers in need pay their electricity bills. That's been going on since 2002. More than $1 million in TXU Energy Aid funds from the company, our employees, and our customers have gone to Irving Cares alone. So we moved here to Irving in 2017. So you might ask, what's next? Well, if you're a vibrant company looking to serve even more customers, say on a national scale, with reliable, affordable electric power, what do? You grow, and that's what we're going to do. Vistra Energy has acquired Houston-based Dynegy to create the leading integrated power company in the United States. How are we going to do that? We're going to do it by pairing Vistra's financial strength, top-notch consumer, commercial, and industrial retail electricity businesses, and diverse generation fleet with Dynegy's portfolio of 43 high-quality, environmentally compliant power plants across the 12 states, and should be able to see on your maps here on the screen the reach of our company now. When the merger is complete later this year, 2.9 million retail customers will be in our portfolio across Texas, Illinois, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Massachusetts. We'll have 40,000 megawatts of generation. That's enough to power 32 million homes in the United States. We'll have retail offices here in Irving, also in Houston, in Illinois, and Ohio. We'll proudly have 6,000 hard-working, dedicated employees, and we expect to close, hopefully, in the second quarter of 2018. But we're not done yet. After the merger, later this year, our headquarters, of course, remain in Irving. Dynegy's offices will phase out in Houston, and we will be adding even more jobs to the Vistra Energy corporate home here in Irving. So, we are anticipating a great year for us as we grow. We're delighted we can do so right here in Irving. On behalf of Vistra Energy, TXU Energy, and Luminant, I'd like to thank Mayor Stopfer and members of the City Council and also the city staff for their help and support. And again, thank you to Beth and her staff at the 5-star Greater Irving Las Colinas Chamber of Commerce for all their help, especially in the past year as we made our transition out here to Irving, and we're looking forward to a bright future here. Now, it's a great honor for me and also a personal treat to introduce our moderator for today, a friend of mine for whom I have deep personal and professional respect. Dr. John McKay was born in Rantoul, Illinois. He's an Air Force brat who has lived around the world before he returned to Nebraska for a Jesuit education and a degree at Creighton University in journalism and mass communication. In the long ago year of 1984, John came to WFAA, that's Channel 8, the ABC affiliate in Dallas-Fort Worth, as a reporter in the Fort Worth newsroom, and he was later promoted to bureau chief. He was transferred to the Dallas newsroom as a reporter, then weekend anchor, news manager. He's also served as the 5 o'clock anchor, and now, as many of you know, he anchors at 6 and 10 o'clock. John's an award-winning journalist with a master's degree in politics from the University of Dallas and a PhD, yes, in humanities history of ideas from the University of Texas at Dallas. John's interests include music, film, travel, and art, and maybe sometime he'll do his stand-up comedy routine for you if you get him in the right mood. It's hilarious, believe me. Anyway, please help me welcome my friend, Dr. John McKay.
How is everybody today? Come on now, I'm the one from Nebraska. How is everybody today? The blessing of living in Texas is that the kind of weather we have today won't, like it does in Nebraska, stay here until March. Before the end of the week, I'm willing to bet it's going to be at least in the 50s, so that's something to look forward to. I'm a proud Irving resident. Live, in matter of fact, not sure where I am in here, but on the other side of the freeway in the Enclave, and have lived there for over a decade. Love it. Nice and relaxing. I was in Allen yesterday. They were trying to convince me that Allen is God's gift, and they're doing some great things, and I looked at them and smiled, and I said, but you know what? When you leave downtown Dallas to go back home, I will have been home for a half an hour at least. Okay. Rick Stopfer was elected as mayor in May of 2017. Mayor was originally elected as a council member to the Irving City Council in 1998, served through 2012, He was appointed Deputy Mayor Pro Tem in 2007, 2008, and Mayor Pro Tem 2008, 2009. In 2013, the mayor was appointed as the Irving representative to the Dartboard by the City Council. Is also a member of the Trinity Railway Express Advisory Committee, the Transit-Oriented Development Committee, and an alternate member of the Regional Transportation Council. Mayor Stopfer has lived in Irving since 1988. He and his wife, Melanie, have been married for over 40 years, and he's from my part of the country. They were born and raised in South Dakota, and like me, smile every day during the wintertime that they're here and not there. Please, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to the stage the Honorable Mayor Rick Stopfer. Let me emphasize that the questions I'm going to be asking the mayor, I'm asking him as a interested resident of the city of Irving, because I am interested in the city's future. Mayor, there are some people who are in the audience today who may be new here. So let's give them some idea of your background, better understanding of the path that brought you to where we are today.
Well, thank you, John. It's been an interesting life for me. Well, like you say, I was born and raised in South Dakota. I spent 25 years in the automotive business and was able to sell and move down in this area. My wife, Melanie, and I have been here about 30 years. Her career brought us to Irving, Texas. And as we moved down here, I was very active in politics at the local level and the state level in South Dakota. And I found Irving to be very open and welcoming to new people. And so I was appointed to the Planning and Zoning Commission, and I served 6 years there. And about 20 years ago, I was able to run for city council and was elected. And it's kind of interesting when you think of all the people that actually live here, to have someone come from outside and the city embrace you the way that they did me. It was very special. And I served on the council for 14 years, and then they saw fit to appoint me to the Dartboard, where I actually still serve. And I was elected as mayor, and it's been a real privilege for Melanie and I to serve the city of Irving and be part of this great community.
Well, I'm curious because people, when they first move here, you have, of course, all kinds of opportunities to move to any of the many cities in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But what was it about Irving in particular that made you go, this is me, this is where we need to be?
Well, it was kind of interesting because when we first moved here, the company that Melanie was with put us up in the Westin Galleria for almost 6 months. So I thought, this is really the life. I've got somebody will park my car, I've got shopping downstairs, but then the reality started to kick in, and we looked, and what it was is when I drove into Valley Ranch, and we've since taken the hump out, but it used to be when you drove into Valley Ranch, there was only at that time about 400 homes. And there was a lot of fields and openness, and I would come over that hill and drive down, and it reminded me of home. And I felt very comfortable there, and that was the reason that we selected Irving.
Well, in the time that you've moved here, there have been so many changes that we've seen. A lot of them particularly recently. So we're going to take a look at a video right now. Give us some understanding, some highlights of some of the things that we have seen particularly recently. Let's take a look.
It's going to be a destination, and I think that's what we've been hoping for.
So you get to see our community truly vibrant.
I'm just blown away. This is in Irving, Texas now.
It's exciting to see this last piece of this particular puzzle come together.
This is just going to present another opportunity for us to bring more folks into the community.
Such a large development on a premier piece of property.
The city and the chamber have been phenomenal to work with.
We're excited to be here in Irving. It's a great city.
For McKesson and your expansion here, this is a very natural fit.
We had a huge and a great support from the city of Irving.
What an incredible opportunity for Irving, Texas to have another great win.
This is a market from which we know we can draw talented individuals.
I really enjoy working here.
We're excited to be here. Had a lot of support from council and from the city of Irving.
People have been looking for this and asking for a farmer's market for a long time.
We want to be considered the best institute for youth and amateur sports that's in the country.
I am very excited to have it in our city.
This is about 53,000 square feet of entertainment.
This is a big deal, and it's crowded, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I just really love, the city of Irving, and I said this is a good spot and a good time.
Dodgeball, some gladiator stuff going around, and I think it's great for kids and adults.
Welcome, everybody. Are y'all excited?
Irving is just kind of an untapped location for Whole Foods Market.
The city has been very supportive.
I think it's a great reuse of this facility.
Do you get a sense of the excitement in Irving? The thing that amazes me, Mayor, is particularly when I've been seeing lately what's been going on, this sense of energy. What stands out the most for you in terms of economic development recently?
Well, recently, I think the things that have stood out in my mind is the fact that we have had great relocations. We've had people interested in our community, not just from the business perspective, but also from the entertainment perspective and the housing perspective. So we've had a real interest across the board in all categories.
Well, I'm gonna ask you the same thing about people who are coming here that I asked about you earlier, and that is, what is making them decide that Irving is the place, that Irving Las Colinas is the place they want to be?
I believe it's because of everything that we have to offer. First of all, we are so fortunate to be a part of the airport. Over 35% of the DFW airport is actually within our city, and it makes a big difference when people come. People want to be transit today. They want to be able to have their goods and services moved. They also want to be able to have themselves available to take trips and get to their businesses across the country, both to and from. And so I think our airport and our being a transportation gateway makes a big difference in the city of Irving.
There was some concern, I'm going to speak about something that worried a few of us in Irving a while, and that has to do with entertainment. There was some concern that when there was a disappearance of this place where this team that we all know used to play, when that kind of went away, that was going to be a problem. That's not the case anymore, though, however.
No, we're very fortunate. Having the Cowboys in Irving was a great opportunity for us. We had 30-some years of an experience with them, and it was great. And we saw the opportunity to reuse that facility. Actually, the land was something that we own as a city, so it gives us an opportunity to develop that area. We've partnered with the old Central Freight Land, as well as the University of Dallas, and Mr. Jones owns a piece of property there as well. And together we have over 400 acres that we have available in that area. Now, if you take that in perspective, that's bigger than downtown Dallas.
Definitely, which sets up, I think, our next video. Let's take a look at this next video, give you some more about Irving and Irving's excitement.
It feels really good to have the ability to open up a shelter, provide the necessities that people need.
We're just trying to be as sensitive as we can to their needs and try to provide whatever support they need. It's been a wonderful effort by the city to take care of these people.
I think the importance is that we talk about it, we bring out what it is, and what people can do.
I'm very proud to be a part of a city that recognizes that this is an issue.
You know, to say that we're grateful to the city of Irving and the Four Seasons would be an understatement.
We can't thank the city of Irving enough.
But at the end of the day, it's the dollars that are raised through the Salesmanship Club that make the school run and make these kids' lives better.
This event is Clear the Shelters, which is a national adoption event that started here in Irving.
It's amazing, right? It's such a special moment when you see somebody find that animal.
We wanted to get citizens involved. We wanted to let them know what we do here at the city.
I've always been proud to be an Irving citizen, but now I think I'm even more proud.
We will be bringing in every second grader in Irving ISD to learn water safety skills.
It is a partnership. It's working out beautifully.
There is a sense in Irving that this cannot be, we don't expect a citizen of Irving to just be concerned about them and their family, but about the entire community as well. And we got that impression in all the people that we just saw. This is important to you as well.
Well, For me, what was interesting is when I was running for mayor, I had the opportunity to meet with different organizations, different neighborhoods across the community, and it was interesting to see how even in a 5-year time frame, we have seen so many changes within our community. For example, there's a Sudanese group that has a worship facility here in Irving. The Nepalese community has brought over 30,000 people into the area in the last 5 years, and their house of worship is here in the city of Irving. And as I met with these different organizations in these different neighborhoods, I found that they were so concerned about how can they give back. How can they be part of the community? And when there was a need or something arose, they were the first ones to step up and say, how do we participate?
You know, one of the things that I've always liked about Texas is while like any other state in America, people get into arguments and that sort of thing, ultimately, people want to turn some dirt. They want to get to work. They want to make things happen. We've got that going on now with the Toyota Music Factory moving in. Tell us a little bit about that in entertainment.
Well, entertainment is something that we weren't quite sure that was something we were going to be involved with, but one of the things that we have in the city of Irving that a lot of people don't realize is our hotel industry. And as a city, you look for all the types of dollars that you can generate and how you can utilize them. So by having the hotel rooms that we do have over 12,000, then we are able to raise dollars. And we decided that what we needed to do was build a convention center. And as we did our due diligence, we found that not only did we need a convention center, but we needed a convention center hotel, and we needed an entertainment venue. So as we started out the process, we looked at putting the convention center together, and then the entertainment venue was part of it. And as we were able to work through that, it took us many years to put it all together, but we have the Toyota Music Factory up and running today, and we have a few restaurants, but in the next 6 months, you'll see completely different out here with over 20 new restaurants in the area, as well as the outdoor stage. The plaza itself will be activated as well, and you'll see live performances out there. So you'll have the ability to come to a show at the theater, you'll have the ability to go afterwards and have lunch, and there'll be live entertainment on the plaza, there'll be live entertainment in some of the restaurants. And then with the new hotel, you'll have the ability to spend the evening, and it's all accessible by the DART Orange Line.
Sweet, sweet. Okay, that gives us some indication of what we're seeing in terms of commercial development. How about the residential growth in the area? Are we finding out that people still want to move their families here?
We've had an unusual year in that we are starting to see our residential growth expand at the same level that we're seeing our corporate growth. We have over 3,000 homes that are approved throughout the city, and over 28 developers within the area that are selling the homes. We had over 600 homes sold this year with an average price over $400,000.
You say that with a smile on your face.
You bet.
Okay. I want to transition to something that we all know something about, and that is infrastructure. Let's take a look at a little video, and then we'll talk a little bit more about that.
It's a great day for all of Irving. It provides better fire coverage.
We live in the neighborhood in Hackberry, and it's super awesome to have it here.
This is an awesome, awesome adventure between the city of Irving and the city of Grand Prairie.
I'm really excited about it. We want to make sure that our firefighters have the best training facilities.
This is going to be a tank that's going to be very beneficial to a lot of the new development that we see going on all throughout this area.
We're trying to keep the best service of any city we can.
By putting the larger channel in, we've increased the capacity where the 100-year flood will stay in the channel.
This is something to celebrate. We've taken more than 200 houses out of the floodplain.
I don't know that WOW actually captures the feeling that I have right now.
It's still a fabulous facility.
What a great benefit for the whole community.
I think it's important that the residents understand how far we've come and where we're going. So this shows them that we are making progress.
We've come up with a plan that over the next 5 years, we are going to invest $100 million in our roads to address the #1 issue that our residents and businesses have identified.
This is impressive because this is a $15 million paving and utility project. This is going to really be a fantastic area once we get the roadways complete. I think everybody is going to really enjoy it down here.
We're an asset for this region. We're an asset for North Texas.
The whole overall experience is going to be great for our customers.
Hit start, hold your phone near the smart lock, it'll turn yellow.
We're really excited to be partnering with them. The rental bike business seems to be booming right now.
It celebrates Irving's heritage and its history in a very beautiful, natural setting.
There's a lot of stuff taking place down here in the Heritage District that's really going to make a difference.
We want to put something out there that's new and exciting because kids, man, that's what they want.
My kid loves it. I love seeing him smile.
Well, to prove that I live in Irving, I have waited in line at MacArthur and 183. I have waited in line because of the construction. I have been up and down Las Colinas Boulevard and seen the orange cones. But talking to you, this is because we are on the cusp of seeing some big changes with regard to roads and construction of roads and that sort of thing in Irving.
Well, we're very fortunate in the city of Irving to, as I said earlier, be part of the transportation corridor. And part of that is our road system, 183, 114, Loop 12, 635, 161, and it goes on and on. And that's where we really need to shine. And we've been fortunate over the years as it's been almost 25 years since we did our major investment studies, and we're now starting to see some of that growth and development. There'll be over $1 billion spent on the 183, 114, and Loop 12. We're close to the end. I can promise you by the end of this year that Midtown Express...
Wait. By the end of this year?
By the end of this year, the second phase of the $850 million project will be completed.
By the end of this year. Let me ask you about something else that we hear a lot in the news, not just about Irving, but around the country, and that is infrastructure. With regard to upgrading infrastructure, we've got so many people moving here. The infrastructure, of course, getting older, and you've spoken about this a little already. Maybe you can bring us up to date on some of the infrastructure changes we need to look forward to.
Sure, we're excited to do surveys with our residents every once in a while, or every 2 years, I believe we do it. And what we find is the roads were one of the major concerns that our residents had. So we hired a company to come in and evaluate all the roads in the city of Irving, all the alleys in the city of Irving, and determine prioritize them on when they should be repaired and replaced. And the numbers were staggering. And so as we started to look at it and realized that we needed to do something about it, we worked with our city management and our team, and we put together Roads to the Future, in which we'll be spending $100 million in the next 5 years to improve the roads through the city of Irving.
Well, let me ask you about other parts of infrastructure, the things that we don't normally see, but which can be, while they're working on them, disruptive. The sewer, drainage, that sort of thing.
Well, we're very fortunate in the city of Irving also, with the leadership of previous mayors and previous councils, to have our own lake. And so we have our own water system. So as we do the repair work along these roads, we'll also be looking at the water lines and the sewer lines so that when we come into your neighborhood and tear it all up and put in a new road, that we don't come back a year or two later and tear it up for water, and a year or two later and tear it up for sewer. So we're looking at the infrastructure totality-wise to make sure that once we do it, it's done properly and it'll be less disruption for the neighborhoods.
Infrastructure is great. The economic development is terrific, but I think people want to know, how are we doing with regard to public safety, our police and fire, protecting everyone? How's that going?
Well, it's an interesting thing for me, and I really appreciate the council and previous councils to make this commitment. When you pay your taxes at the end of the year, it's always a big number, but if you look down at what you pay the city of Irving, 99.8% of that dollars, so every $100 that you write, $99.80 goes to public safety in the city of Irving. And we take that seriously. And we've continued to build upon that. So this last year, we opened the fire station number 12 up in the area of Valley Ranch and Hackberry Creek so that they have better coverage in that area. We also, as you saw in the film, did a joint partnership with Grand Prairie. Several years ago, we purchased real estate along 161 for training facilities for our police department and our fire department. The fire department in our partnership is the one that we just were able to open this year. And in partnership with them, we were able to save $2 million. So having that training facility, having that new facility, fire station, and then there was some equipment that we needed. We're like being in New York City or one of these big cities. You'll see these fire trucks driving around and there's a guy driving in the back. Well, now we've got 2 of those. So we're in the big leagues right now, and it makes a big difference for the neighborhoods around here because they're easier to get in and out of. So by purchasing that real estate, in building that facility and purchasing the equipment, we now have an ISO 1 rating, which means there's a savings on your insurance for both business and residents. And we're one of less than 100 cities in the United States that have that rating. We also expanded because of our growth, our police department. We put in a new police beat, which brought another 10 officers and gives a lot better coverage across the city. I also had the opportunity to visit with the chief, and he showed me some of the new technology that we're using citywide, and his commitment is to use that technology the best way we can to make sure that our officers have the information and the equipment that they need to be top-notch. So I'm excited about both what our police and fire are doing. We also had the opportunity with our FEMA emergency management this last year. A lot of cities go for grants so that they can learn about the disasters that are striking around the country. Well, we applied this last year and were accepted right away. And so over 66 of our management team was able to go and learn about the potential disasters that happen across the country and how to deal with them. So it was a real opportunity for our public safety people to have an update in how to deal with the issues that are facing a lot of cities today, with the hurricanes you've seen, with the fires you've seen, and all the other problems. And it was timely in that I think that probably one of our proudest moments was when we opened the shelter for the evacuees from the hurricane areas. We saw our departments all come together and look at our youth facility as an opportunity to house the evacuees. They picked that facility because it had some swimming pool next door. It also had the ability for pool tables, some things for people to do rather than just sit in a room. And one of the things they also realized is a lot of people don't like to leave their animals behind. So our animal services came together and put together a section of the area where people could bring their cats and dogs, and we had over 61 cats and dogs that came with their evacuees. And so as they came, our veterinarians were making sure they had their shots and they were okay. And as the people came through and they were going through the process, there were a lot of things that they needed. And so we were able to find people who had lost their glasses, people who needed dental work. It was really exciting to see on the first day of school over 30 kids in uniforms being able to go to our school system. And so that was an extremely proud moment for me. We received recognition from FEMA both at the state and federal level. I received several phone calls. And the one thing that they told me was they had never seen a shelter run as efficiently or maintained as cleanly. So hats off and kudos to our staff.
Let's take a look at another video of some of the changes we're seeing in Irving.
We really wanted this to happen.
Irving is an innovative city. Share Tank truly exemplifies that innovation.
It's so cool to see them do this for the community and get everybody excited about it and give back.
It's so much fun!
The Irving residents have always been really supportive with our Tip-A-Cop, our penny drop, and want to keep that going.
Where we've lost a lot of trees and storm damage, this is a great opportunity to replace the trees that we've lost.
I take a lot of personal pride in getting out here with my fellow citizens to do projects that improve quality of life.
We have so many people from Irving that support this organization. The return on their investment are these dogs graduating.
It's very humbling to know of such generosity.
The thing that I'm really excited about the most is to just remind everybody what we do. That we do these programs, we've been doing them for 60 years, but they make a difference in our customers' lives.
A lot of these families that are invited are very high need.
The Irving Fire Department collects enough school supplies to fill 2,500 backpacks a year. With corporate sponsorship, we're able to fill an average of 5,000 a year.
It's just great that people will come out and do this and ask how they can help.
Thank you so much, and we appreciate it.
The film highlights what you've been talking about, and that is the fact that when there is an emergency, Irving really does come together. That's something that's been important for you.
Yes. We're so fortunate to have the community involvement that we have, and through our chamber and through both our Hispanic Chamber and our Greater Irving Las Colinas Chamber and our economic development and the nonprofits that we have in our community, whenever there's a need, they come together. I go back and think about at the evacuation center, the need came up for pillows. And so Bruce Burns made a call and a gentleman brought his pickup in and went out and bought 200 pillows, and they were there for the evacuees. I mean, the people are committed to being and doing a lot of great things for the city of Irving.
You've been mayor now for 6 months, so tell us, in the 6 months, the things that you've seen that have made you really happy, the things you want to work more on.
Well, I think the thing that really I'm most happy about is the cohesiveness that we have with our city council. I am so fortunate to have these 8 individuals who dedicate their time and spend their time in the city of Irving. We work together very well. The cohesiveness, as I said, is important to me. There's a lot of 5-4 votes. I don't always get on either side. Sometimes I'm on the 4 side, sometimes I'm on the 5 side. But at the end of the day, we're all here to make sure that the city of Irving has the right thing done for our community. I also am excited about the way that our community has come together with our chamber and our ICVB and our city staff. When it comes to dealing with new corporate citizens and retaining corporate citizens, we have a seamless opportunity to make that happen. And to me, that's really, really important. As far as my biggest challenge, I think the biggest challenge is time. When I started this, I really wanted to make sure that I spent time with the community. So for the last 6 months, I've spent a lot of time in the neighborhoods and a little bit of time in the community. This next 6 months, I'll be spending more time with the businesses and still be extremely involved with the communities. But it's really an interesting city. We have a diversity of race, religion, and culture within our community that is probably one of the most unique opportunities that we have as a region. And when you bring these people together, different ideas, you can bring somebody from a different, if you decide that you want to bring a group of engineers together, and regardless of their race, their religion, or their culture, and you bring them into a room and you say, here's a situation we have and we need to fix it, they forget about everything else and they fix the situation. And that's what this city is about. It's about bringing people together and making things happen.
Final question, Mayor, and I think you've probably anticipated some of this. Your vision for this city in terms of its future. You've talked about how we're strong with regard to working with each other, particularly in times of difficulty. The infrastructure of the city, the public safety here in Irving. What's your vision for tomorrow, the place you'd like to lead us?
Well, I think that where we need to go as a city is that we need to be a partner not only within the city of Irving, but within the whole region. Because as everything happens, we all benefit from it. There's been a lot of talk about Amazon and how should we have it, should another city have it, but at the end of the day, 50,000 jobs to the region is extremely important, and we all benefit from it. So it's a matter of us all working together and making sure that we get things done. And we need to finish some things. You know, as I said, the 183, 114 Loop 12 project needs to be finished by the end of the year. The restaurants and things in the entertainment center needs to be finished by the end of the year. There's a couple of projects in South Irving that'll get started this year and hopefully finished that I'm excited about. One is a new arts facility on Main Street. The other is our Heritage Museum in the old library building, and it's been all remodeled, and we're looking forward to that as well. So I'm looking forward to continuing to move forward as a city in the business world and in the residential world, and to provide the necessary amenities that the citizens of Irving need and deserve.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I understand you got a special award that you want to.
Yes, I do. We have our award that I'll be giving out in a minute, but before I do that, could I have the City Council and any of the city staff and our partners please stand and be recognized? I also want to take a minute and thank you, John. A lot of people don't realize how active you are in the community. John is one of those people who walks the walk and talks the talk. For any of you that have ever been involved with the Schools Foundation, he dedicates a morning and gives away over hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of scholarships. And it's
Other people's money, by the way.
and it's amazing because when you talk to the students and you talk to their parents about receiving the dollars, they're excited about the dollars, but they're also excited to get it from you. So we really appreciate you and Nora's commitment to the community.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Mayor of Irving, Rick Stopfer. Let's give him a round of applause.
Next to your table are some cards that we have put out. They're actual playing cards, but also one of the things they have is fun facts about Irving. And so it'll give you a little insight to what's going on, and if you study them hard, maybe next year we'll have a little trivia about the cards we have. Now I'm excited to present a special award. The Mayor's Corporate Award of Excellence recognizes a company, corporation, or organization that exemplifies excellence in the work it does, the service it provides, the contributes that it makes to the community, and the commitment it provides to the city and its residents. This year's recipient of the Mayor's Award of Excellence has been a staple in Irving since 1978 and has celebrated its 40 years this year. This company has more than 1,200 employees in Irving and is one of the largest water users in the city and a major economic engine in our community. This company is a major supporter of the United Way, routinely raising more than $150,000 annually from the Irving employees. The proceeds go directly to the local United Way chapter supporting the Irving underprivileged residents. And executives encourage volunteerism in numerous other ways, employee-led community programs like the Salvation Army and the Angel Tree program. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Pepper Snapple Group for this award. If I could ask Colin Hughan to join me on the stages. He is the Vice President for Dr. Pepper Snapple Group and his team. If they would please come forward and join me on the stage as they receive this well-deserved award. Well, that concludes the, I was going to say the services for the day. That concludes our program. I want to give a special thank you to each and every one of you for taking the time, excuse me, for being here today. It means a lot to me and it means a lot to our city to pull together like this and make this city even greater than it is today. It's been a real privilege and I look forward to the next year and all that we can accomplish as a city and all that we can accomplish working together. So thank you so much for being here today.